Hi, welcome to Driving with Friday. I'm not driving, so I'm just at home today, and I still thought I can record something. You and I can engage and talk about something. So today I want us to talk about gravity, the law of gravity. It's also another law of physics. It's a principle of physics. Gravity is what makes objects fall down on the ground. When you jump up, you fall back down because of gravity. And why do I want us to talk about gravity? Because gravity keeps you on the ground. It keeps you average. So if you're like me and would want to soar with the eagles in the sky, you want to be able to deal with gravity. Now, like I said, gravity is a law. You cannot overcome gravity by trying harder. You don't overcome principles and laws by trying harder. You can jump as high as you want, but you will always fall back down. When you see an aircraft on the runway, taxiing on the runway and then taking off, it's because that aircraft has engaged into another law. It's called the law of lift, also known as the law of aerodynamics. Now, a lot of people they try so many things to try to take off. Maybe you have tried a number of things to try to take off in your business, in your life. But you always find yourself on the ground. You try this and that, and a few days later you're back on the ground. I'll tell you why. Like I said earlier, what keeps you on the ground is a law. And if you want to float with the eagles, if you want to fly with the eagles, you have to engage into another law, the law of lift. The word law means, we use different words like law, principle, secrets, keys, different words, but all coming to the same one thing. Once you do not have knowledge of the keys, once you do not have knowledge of the principles and laws that are to take you from 0 to 1, from 0 to 10, you will remain at 0. You will try and guess and do all kinds of things. But until you engage into a law that can overcome the law at which you are operating currently, you will always be average. Let me give you an illustration. If we took people from Zambia today, we took everybody from Zambia, including our president, everybody, and we took them to the Western world, maybe in America or Europe. Let's say America. And we took everybody from America and brought them to Zambia. Trust me, it will just be within 5 to 10 years. The people that were moved from Zambia to Africa will be looking for visas coming back to Zambia. And there will be so much restrictions coming back to your original country. Why? Because America will become the new Zambia, and Zambia will become the new America. Your currency, the kwacha, will become the most dominant currency, one of the most dominant currencies in the world. And the reason is simple. There is something that the group out there understands that we don't understand back at home here. There are some principles that make them operate at the level they operate. And they are laws and principles that make us operate at our level. Once we begin to understand those laws and begin to know how to engage and invoke them, we will begin to move. When the plane is in the sky, what brings the plane back to landing? It is when the pilot begins to reduce the speed of the plane. Because gravity is always present, even if the plane is still in the sky. Just because the plane has taken off doesn't mean gravity has stopped existing. Gravity is still acting on that plane. However, the plane has maintained its speed. The reason the plane takes off is because while it's taxiing on the ground, it reaches a certain speed. That speed is essential to trigger the law of aerodynamics. But that plane needs to maintain that speed. Because if it doesn't maintain that speed and lowers that speed, it begins to come down. You and I need to understand secrets, laws, principles, keys to move from the level where you are at to another level. I hope this is being helpful to you. Join me in the session going forward on this tomorrow. It makes me very sad, I must say, when I begin to talk about these things. Because until you begin to know you're bound, you are imprisoned by your own ignorance. You're imprisoned because you do not know. When you begin to know, you begin to release yourself. You begin to free yourself from the bondages around you. Join me tomorrow. Thank you for today.